What is up, everybody? Vs. here today. So, just yesterday, people were celebrating that Ghost of Tsushima, a new IP, has reached over 8 million copies sold. And then, a ex-developer who was working on Days Gone, he said the same situation, but it's like the same situation. His game sold over 8 million copies, but it was not a good thing for Days Gone selling over 8 million copies because they still didn't go with Days Gone for a sequel. They actually canceled that game. They canceled the sequel for that game. So this is what this guy stated, Jeff Ross. At the time I left Sony, Days Gone had been out for a year and a half and a month and sold over 8 million copies. It's since gone on to sell more and then 1 million plus on Steam. Local studio management always made us feel like it was a big disappointment. So, geez. Because just yesterday, people were celebrating that Ghost of Tsushima made over 8 million copies, but then his game did the same thing, and Sony just still gave this game the boot. They made him, I always felt like this game was just a disappointment. Now, I have played Days Gone, I actually finished it and completed it. I thought the game was pretty fun. It was just way too long. And definitely has a lot of improvements it would definitely need. A lot of things that definitely need to be improved in that game, but that's what the sequel's for, so they can improve the actual game, but I guess they just never went with a sequel for this game. So, very disappointing news right there. Let's see what people have to say about this. Days Gone was great. I really liked it. Never felt like it wasn't successful. Absolutely loved Days Gone. Me and my girlfriend played it for an entire week non-stop. I always thought the press was a big factor in the cold reception from Sony. Yeah, because I don't think this game scored too well. I think it scored like in the 60s on Metacritic. Damn, sold over 9 million, didn't get a sequel, and 1 million plus on Steam when it was released later in the lifetime. Only one conclusion from this: Metacritic matters. Yeah, I think these companies really go by Metacritic, to be honest. I think they honestly do go at Metacritic scores because that was like the only flaw, like the only real negative they had. Like it had a low score, but it was selling really well. So yeah, it's like I guess these companies don't get these 8, 9s, and 10s, and they might not get a sequel, which is very disappointing. Like that's kind of like even for movies, like even movies they do terribly in the movie theaters. If enough people go watch the movie in the theaters to get enough support to actually get a sequel, but I guess with video games, these big companies don't want to risk a sequel if it just has bad press or bad media coverage. Let's see. Wow, 8+ million is awesome and very impressive for a new IP. Congrats, Jeff. I always said you were the best. I will never understand the decision of Sony about the sequel because it's clearly a huge success. Unfair. Reality is one thing, narrative coming from the press is another. Unfortunately, social media algorithms really blur the line between one and another. I absolutely love Days Gone, one of the better games I ever played on my PS4. Okay, so these are kind of like all people saying the game is good. I kind of want to see some controversial opinions now. We're going to go to the quote tweet, see some controversial opinions, because everybody's just saying the game, yeah, dude, the game was still bad, though. Yeah, because mostly when you read like the regular tweets, it's going to be like a whole bunch of like saying the game was good, praising this guy, but a lot of people didn't like this game. That's just the facts. A lot of people did not like that game. So I kind of want to see some of those opinions. People who just didn't like the game. The F does it got to do with Ghost of Tsushima? I guess he's like, why are you bringing us bad news to this game that we do like? Jeez. Sony is risk avid. Many other publishers would have milked that franchise by now. Success that came for the cost of his career. Days Gone sold over 8 million copies. This is truly disappointing. I really loved the first game, and I always imagined what the story of the second one would be like. Bruh, this ninja makes everything about himself, and that S-ass game he made that no one gives a F about. Jeez. Wish I understood why PlayStation was not keen to renew that game and why the media was so harsh on one of the best games of last gen. When Metacritic and winning votes is more important than what your fan base enjoyed. It's a shame to see how you guys are being treated over there. Then what is this? Knack. Knack got a... Wait, this is the second one. Oh, this was the first one. Okay, so Knack was horrible. It was just... People didn't like the Knack whatsoever. That game was like barely average to most people. Wow, this game got a sequel. I don't know how that happened, but I don't know how this game got a sequel. And the second one didn't do too much better than the first one. And I mean, it still did a little bit better, but it's like, yeah. know how that game got a sequel. It's an absolute shame we will never get a Days Gone sequel. Let's see. This proves how trash media is and how great a word of mouth can be. Congrats on an achievement well deserved. 8+ million sold, a failure. Days Gone got the shaft. Got the shaft big time. Despite its rocket launch, it was a really good game. We need more Sam Witwer in video games. Let's see. Let's see. I never get emotionally attached to games, but there was just something about Days Gone that took me on an emotional roller coaster that still hits home today. Everything and everyone involved in Days Gone deserves so much more respect. That's because the game is ass. I kind of want to see more of the negative comments, to be honest, because it's like everybody's going to say the game is good just to kiss this dude's behind, but there's a lot of people who just didn't like the game, to be honest. Just to be frank, a lot of people just didn't like this game. So, let's see. It was pretty mid. What the F? Them Days Gone devs got absolutely shafted. I can't imagine me and a team busting our butts off for years and then made to feel this way. I got there as quotas, etc. But man, do you think this is fair? When I see stories like this, my mind starts to spin. I now see publishers who sold more copies openly state their disappointment. On top of the generally uninformed fan base mock sales, and it leaves me realizing one thing: we are still trying to figure this industry out. So it's just kind of just a vague statement, but whatever. Do really get why people are agreeing with Sony in this matter. Yeah, the game is not current gen. Sony stands for multiple people, but the fact that this game got its sales despite it should inspire a superior sequel. New IPs aren't all perfect masterpieces. Press X to doubt. Wait, what was that one comment? This leaves me so disappointed in how Sony treated this game. It was so much more than the sum of its parts. Maybe part 2 would have worked, but I would like to see Ben get a shot. Okay. Great game, good sales, fun AF on PC. Marketed poorly though. And yeah, actual marketing people tell me it's a failed as a game. I'm like, what? Financially not a huge disappointment. The disappointment is that the game sucks ass. I mean, your game is average at best. Stop crying. Yeah. PlayStation added a game with hypocrisy. I mean, the game it was a little bit above average. I wouldn't say it was average at best. A little bit above average, but I guess people are just tired of the whole zombie thing at this point. Like we already got like another big franchise, The Last of Us, made with zombies. I guess they want another big zombie game along with their catalog. I don't know. This guy says, "Shut your BS up." Jeez. Oh man. It seems to me like there's mismanagement over at Sony. Blame the media for review bombing it? Because it was you, loser. Jeez. This S is so lame. Shaking my head, I really wanted that sequel. So there's like a mixed opinion about this thing. About Days Gone not doing well. People want this game to have a sequel. People said the game was just trash. They just said it was very mediocre. So it's a reason why the game didn't get a sequel. But who knows? At the end of the day, maybe a sequel would have made this game a lot better. But I guess Sony just didn't decide to go with a sequel for whatever reason. So I'm gonna conclude it right here. Definitely want to see your thoughts down below about this. Do you think this game should have got a sequel? And do you think it's even right for this guy to even mention this while Ghost of Tsushima is getting a lot of praise right now for its sales? Like this guy did just kind of nowhere and just say, "Hey, we made the same amount of sales and our game just didn't go anywhere." So do you think that's even right to begin with? Let me know your thoughts down below. Leave a like this video. As always, thanks for watching and peace.